Welcome to my podcast. This is a podcast where I'll be teaching you all the systems and strategies you need in creating your visibility so you can turn your passion for coaching into a profitable business. I'm your host, Michelle Quay. I am a visibility coach, content and email marketing strategist, international speaker, and author, as well as the founder of Elevate Life Coaching. Let's just say that I know a few things about overcoming seemingly impossible obstacles in life and in business. I'm on a mission to be the champion that helps you to get to the top of your mountain one courageous step at a time. Welcome to the show. True story. I was at a grocery store one day and there was a huge puddle of water just sitting right there in the middle of the aisle. And, little did I know, I walk with 4 legs, 2 legs and 2 crutches. And so it was easier for me to fall than anybody else because when there's water on the floor, my crutches would slip. And so I was walking down the aisle in between the grocery store and I was just looking around. And little did I know there was a puddle and I slipped. And you know how that embarrassing moment when you slipped? What do? Like you get up right away, right? I mean, why do we do that? Like, don't people fall? When you fall, you fall. But all of us tend to just get up quickly, pretend nothing happened. And that was me. I looked around and I made sure that no one was around because I didn't want to feel embarrassed. And so a lot of that funny moment in our life that we feel so embarrassed about, but they're actually great story that you can tell to prove a point, to teach a lesson, to actually demonstrate something very important in our life. So those funny moments actually becomes your juicy part of who you are and what you can talk about every single day. And today we have a very interesting topic because a lot of you have been following me and you're probably doing the same thing too by going on Facebook or LinkedIn, and especially LinkedIn nowadays because LinkedIn love video. So you're going out live, but you're sitting there and twisting your thumbs and you're wondering, what do I talk about? Is it interesting? Is people watching? Are they going to stay on? Are they going to drop off? Right? There's a lot of that negative self-talk going through your head, which makes your video very hard to follow and probably people not very engaging. Thank you, Melanie. Melanie said, taco, I will buy you a taco later, Melanie. Make sure you keep an eye out with your DM. I will buy you a taco later. So if you're watching and joining, be sure to type taco. I will buy you a taco. All right. So there's a lot of those moments that make funny stories, not so funny, but actually they're pretty funny. And today I have a special guest, Katie Munoz. She is known to be a funny person, but she wasn't just born being funny. She was born very quiet, serious, and clumsy, which left her in a state of constant embarrassment. It's like, hello, we all have those moments. As a young adult, she finally figured out how to use humor as a self-defense. She thought if you laugh at yourself first, then nobody can really laugh at you. She is living proof that humor can be learned, even by a person who is naturally serious. No personality transplant required. Yeah, let me just laugh at myself today. All right. Without further ado, please join me with a warm welcome, Katie Munoz.
Oh, you're so funny.
Thank you. Laugh at myself first with all the mistake and poo-poo and that I had just made.
Well, you're human. How nice.
I think you brought up a really good point because, a lot of us go on live videos or doing any public speaking. We think that we need to be perfect. We need to have the perfect speech. We need to have the perfect moment, perfect screen, perfect camera, perfect microphone. Everything needs to be perfect in order for the live video to be perfect. But in reality, no one who's watching live is expecting you to be perfect. They're expecting some type of flaw, some technical issue, some grammatical error, which I'm a queen of grammar error.
Yeah.
And so no one is expecting you to be like 100% perfect. So, Katie, I know you've been a Toastmaster, you've been a public speaker, you've been a humor coach for a while. And so I'm really curious about how you got into the humor coach.
Well, having been a serious person and having been made fun of a lot growing up when I couldn't take a joke, I was so excited when I finally figured out how to deal with things. The place I learned this was in a pizza parlor some, 40 years ago. I came into the kitchen where the cooks were, and they were, funny guys, and I clipped the corner coming in, so I kind of, and one of them looks up and he says, "So, how's finishing school coming, Grace?" And I said, "Huh?" And he says, "Grace, like graceful? Finishing school where you go to learn how to be graceful?" I said, "Oh." And I totally didn't get the joke, but I did get that he was making fun of me and it was okay. It was like they still liked me. And so I tripped over a pizza box in front of the same two guys. I said, "So maybe I need to study a little harder in the finishing school, huh?" And they laughed. They laughed. And I was like, "Oh, I can do this. My dignity is intact." And we're all just having a good time. And I think, that thing about falling in public, we all have. And if you can stand up and make a joke about it, you're not only saving your own dignity, you're putting everybody else at ease. They're standing there having this empathetic response like, "Oh my gosh, does she need help? Oh, I'd be so embarrassed. Oh, the last time I did that, oh, I felt like such an idiot." And so if you stand up and you go, "Yeah, hope you enjoyed the show. I've been practicing that all week," then it puts them at ease. They realize you're okay. They're okay. They're kind of forgiven for the time that they fell and are prepared to deal with it in the future. Those embarrassing moments they're gifts once you learn how to use them. Mm. So I think, once I figured out how to do this, I felt a lot of empathy for other people who are going through that same self-consciousness. And it was that negative talk you're talking about, so there you've done something embarrassing and this flood of negative images comes in. And you need to stop that and reroute that. And if you can reroute it into laughter, then everybody can enjoy the moment together. And we're all just humans instead of like you said, "I've got to be perfect. I shouldn't have fallen. I shouldn't have tripped over the pizza box. I should," it's like, hey, we do. Some of us do it a little more than others, but there you go.
I kind of, what I'm hearing is in the past, when you were a kid, it almost sounds to me you got bullied. You got bullied in the sense that people were laughing at you instead of with you. But somehow along the journey, you turned that being laughed at into, "I'm going to laugh with you because I think that's pretty funny too." And when I can laugh with you, then it's a different perception, different way of thinking, and a different way of approaching something that was so embarrassing and something that we wanted to hide or just disregard into something that can be actually very powerful.
You're right. I was bullied. I was a stranger in a neighborhood where people had lived there a long time. And I came in, I dressed differently. Different culture, different customs. And I I didn't understand how to make fun of it. And junior high school is just miserable for everybody. We're all so critically embarrassed. I think that must be the pinnacle of all the negativity that, the internal negativity that happens. And the instinctive way that humans seem to respond to this is to try to turn around and humiliate somebody else to take the attention off of themselves because they think everybody's making fun of them. And I really wish that we could go out and teach our children before you get to junior high. Here, let me show you how to make fun of yourself. And basically, if you do achieve putting somebody else down to make yourself feel better, now they have an interest in putting you down to make themselves feel better. And it just perpetuates the whole thing. Whereas if we could just learn to laugh at those moments and be fellow human beings together, I don't know, maybe we'd have peace on earth. Wouldn't that be nice?
I believe so. So true story. I was on a call one day, and it was actually it was a live show I was doing. And then my bathroom, my toilet broke down. And so I was doing live, and there's like people going behind. My plumber decided to walk in like during the live and needing to fix my toilet. And I had to tell everybody, well, this is what happened when you stream live at home. You're going to have a broken toilet in the background, and you're going to be streaming live. So just excuse my plumber making some noise.
Yeah. That's great. Just work it in. It's life.
And it was something that I could not have control. I couldn't control what time the plumber showed up. So there's no way for me to schedule around a live videos with my plumber being in the background. So you know what? Everybody, you just know that my toilet is broken and my plumber is in the house, and there he is. He's fixing my toilet.
Yeah, well, you could introduce him. Here's Philippe, my plumber. Here, show him your plunger.
Right? I could have done that. I could have given you a live reporting about.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Oh gosh.
So tell me about your humor formula. How do we? So a lot of my audience, we're trying to get our word out. We're trying to, spread our message, because I think being a coach, a lot of that passion and what drives our purpose is I want to be able to make a difference. I want to help. But how do I get my message out?
Well, one of the things that I think is really important is to get something funny in the first line. Now, how do you do that? That's the question. You probably heard that before, but if you can grab somebody's attention right there, there's that particular thing is hard for me to explain really briefly. What I can explain a little more is how do you make a funny pitch? So there you are, you've got your 30 seconds in front of a networking group or wherever. Stories are what connects with people. People think that they make decisions rationally, but the research shows that 95% of us make those buying decisions, or there's deciding about committing to something, decisions out of emotion. And to connect with the emotion, you need either funny or dramatic stories. So I have a 4-question series that I use to structure a funny story. And really in brief, it goes like, okay, what are you selling, pitching? What problem does it solve? What goes wrong, or when's a really bad time for this problem to come up? And then how does your product or service save the day? And, my example is actually for toupee glue, right? If you put together a pitch I mean, say you're selling toupee glue. The first thing you think about is telling people, oh, well, it's all natural, it's organic, won't stain your skin, guaranteed to last 6 hours. And that's the facts. That's the rational thing. And that's usually what people do with their pitch. But what if instead you said, gentlemen, you are about to meet the one in person for the first time. You pull your immaculately restored red Corvette right in front of the restaurant window. And just as you get out, you brush your head on the door jamb. Is this really the moment that you want to stop and adjust your toupee? No! If you had tip-top toupee stay, you wouldn't have to worry about how to save your day. So what we've done here is create an oh my God moment that allows people to see the importance of what you're offering. There are other kinds of humor constructs, sequences, gosh, I can't remember the names of these things. They're just, I know the formulas.
No, nobody can remember them. So don't worry about it, Katie.
Yeah. Well, one of the ways I open one of my pitches is, what's even worse than getting stuck in a long, boring presentation? What's worse is when you realize that you are the presenter. My mission is to make sure that never happens to you. And so you can see that, oh my God, that's what we're going for, that oh my God moment, so that you can take people on an emotional trajectory. Okay. And there's actual structuring, architectural ways of putting this together, designing it and refining it to bring the humor out. It really is a formula that you can apply even if you're not naturally funny. And it can be learned as an adult too. So,
I think what's really interesting is it really reminds me of like the old fashioned. I remember, well, I'm not in the 60s or 50s, but I still remember those days where people are passing down flyers on the street. And so it almost sounds like that 30-second pitch, whatever message that you have on, it needs to be that on that flyer very, very quickly. That needs to grab people's attention, right? People need to look at it at a glance. And typically it's a visual. It's, you have a funny picture, you have something that's on the photo, then it grabs people's attention. But otherwise it goes straight to the trash.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, we're bombarded with messages all the time, and our brains have to sort out what's important, what's relevant to me. And what our brains see as important are things with the emotional content, things with, save me from danger. Well, now that defense mechanism in your brain perks up and says, oh, I don't want that to happen to me. What can I do to protect myself? Now they're listening. But if you just give people facts, it doesn't get to the longer term memory. It just doesn't wake up that part of the brain.
Mm-hmm. I love what you brought up. Like when we bring and present facts, a lot of people don't remember these facts. And what I see people are struggling, especially coaches who's doing like these educational webinars and videos, they go on like 15, 45 minutes talking about something that's very educational. And what they don't realize is when you're doing something that's very educational, people need to be able to opt into it. People need to be like having that initial invisible agreement. Yeah, this is what I came for and this is what I'm expecting. But if I'm just turning on a video and I'm watching this live, I want something more entertaining. I want something that's more engaging. So like those of you who's watching and joining live, be sure to type in taco so I can buy you a taco.
Hey, I want a taco.
I'll buy you a taco.
Oh, okay, cool.
So it needs to be something that's educational, but at the same time, very entertaining. And so like one of the frustration that I hear a lot of coaches experiencing is having that headline, having that first line pitch of attention grabbing. How do we overcome it, Katie, from your experience?
How do I get that first line to get people? One of the things I really like is taking slogans that we're already used to. You may have already won, or, but wait, there's more, and twisting them just a little. Excuse me. If you put wait, there's more in your headline, people kind of go, what? Publishers clear. If you can get some kind of a strange mismatch, it grabs people. I just went through, actually, I found a web page that had all kinds of English idioms. And I went through and I made a list of like 150 of them. I only got up to, I think, the letter D. But there's all kinds of them that you can just twist a little bit, use them out of context in some strange way. One of the headlines or I've got the monetize your marketing message class I mentioned to you earlier. And one of the categories of things that I wanted to mention and make, it's got to sound lively. What are you going to get? Is how to keep your toes out of your mouth. Well, we all know about how to keep your foot out of your mouth. That's kind of boring now. It's cliche. But if you take a cliche and you can just swap it just enough, then it gets interesting again. My husband speaks English as a second language, and he frequently misuses idioms just slightly. And it's wonderful. He says, okay, Katie, I'm going to go throw the garbage. Really? Like toss salad. I've unfortunately corrected him so much over the years that I don't hear these funny things as much anymore.
I would be like, yeah, go through the garbage and see what you find.
Yeah, really.
You never know. There's like stuff in the garbage that.
But, you think about the idioms. English is so hard. You throw out the garbage, throw in the towel, throw up, you get sick. Throw down the gloves is a challenge. My gosh, there's a gazillion of them.
I can relate to that because I'm an immigrant and English is not my first language. So I use a lot of like grammar errors and typos and misused words and phrases. And it almost becomes my style. People just know me. I'm just that way.
Exactly. Well, it puts a different kind of color into your communication. It's, instead of getting what's expected is kind of boring. The essence of humor is surprise, the unexpected. And the more abrupt and sudden it can be, the funnier it is. And so these little colorful mistakes are surprising and entertaining for your listeners. As long as we can still understand what it was you wanted to say, I've never had problems with that with you. The errors are so slight. but they're fun. It's just color.
Yeah. Yeah. Katie, you are so experienced in public speaking, and as a humor coach, you help so many people with their messages, their pitches. What tip or like maybe a giveaway or takeaway message that you might be able to share with my audience today that will really make their video go viral and be colorful?
I think the most important thing you can do is to really connect emotionally with your audience. That means being real, being yourself. And I know that it is so hard to be yourself because all the negative talk, oh, I'm not good enough at this and that. But I have a document that I wrote. It's about overcoming stage fright, but I think it needs to be retitled because the way that you connect with your audience is what matters. It's not about being perfect. And I would like to offer that to your audience. I don't know how to post a comment. I don't have access to it right here.
No worry. I will actually grab that copy and make sure to drop it in the episode notes and also in the comments so that my audience can grab them and get a copy of it.
Great.
Would that be on your website?
Yeah. If you go to the website, scroll to the bottom, just subscribe and you'll get it. It says best solution to stage fright. But yeah, it needs to be retitled. It's a way to make your audience love you, forgive your mistakes, embrace their own mistakes, and let's just go into this together. Let's just face life together. We're all in the same boat.
Yeah.
We don't have to be perfect. None of us are. And as long as we're striving to do it, then it's like putting somebody else down. We don't need to do that. Hey, Michelle, can I put a plug in there for the Make Your Marketing Message? I'm sorry, it's Monetize Your Marketing Message. I have two titles that keep swapping. I wanted to offer your listeners a discount code for that. So with the promo code, I'm going to give you a super good deal because it's $997 regular price, but with the discount code, it's $197. And I really feel for my fellow speakers. You guys need this information. It's all kinds of information about how to structure humor, how to just design all those things that you want to liven up your presentation so that it's educational and interesting throughout. So maybe you can put that on the thing that you share.
Absolutely. I will have all that link and as well as the promo code inside the episode note and just let me know what you want to include and monetizing your message. I love that title, by the way. It's about having a message. And if you can actually monetize what you talk about, what you preach about, why not, right? I mean, at the end of the day, we all have a business and you need to have a business in order to survive. And that's just the reality of it. But if you're really good at what you do, you might as well charge for it.
Yeah, exactly.
Nothing wrong with that. That's how we help. And the more revenues and profit that you start to come in, you'll be able to help more people, right? The bigger picture. That's
right.
On the bigger picture. You may not want to charge individual, but you need the money in order to have a sustainable business. And that sustainable business will actually allow you to help more people. So what is the bigger picture?
Exactly. And yeah, I really like that. Just sharing with everybody, make the whole darn world a better place. We can do this together.
Absolutely. And so kind of, Katie, any last word that you would like to share?
cherish those embarrassing moments because that's what's going to be useful for humor fodder in the future.
Do you keep your humor story, like funny story, somewhere, or just in your head?
For some reason, there are so many of them. They're in my head. I've got a huge list, but there's so many. I guess I've been easily embarrassed over the years. So, no, I keep them. Once I write one out, I definitely keep it. But there's a whole lot more in here, and new ones every day.
Absolutely, every moment.
Yeah.
I'm just a big embarrassment myself.
One of the interesting things is that it can be the extremely trivial moments. If you're looking through the day, just ordinary times like, you bumped your cart into somebody else's cart can turn into valuable stories. A little exaggeration about suddenly having demolition derby and, it doesn't always have to be true. I got plenty of fodder in the true stuff, but you can throw little exaggeration bits in there to make things work too. And those ideas can start anywhere.
Yeah. I love it. I love it. Thank you so much, Katie. And just once again, you can find Katie at serious2hilarious.com. That would be her website. And she has a free giveaway that she's giving you a chance to download. And she also has Monetize Your Message that she will be offering a promo code with my audience. And so be sure to come back to the comment, and I will link that promo code as well as in the episode notes so that everyone can have a copy of Monetizing Your Message to take home.
Thank you so much for having me, Michelle. This is great.
I'm having a good time. Yeah, like you're making me laugh.
Oh, cool. And all my best to your audience. Go forth. Be funny. Let's make the world a lighter place.
I love that. Like serious to hilarious. And you can also find Katie on LinkedIn at Serious to Hilarious. And so go follow her. Check her out. Check out her work.
Say hi.
Say hello. Yes. And drop her a type taco and she'll buy you a taco too.
You got to tell me where you're getting all these tacos.
I'm the kind of person who give taco to everyone. Taco for you, taco for you. Everybody gets a taco.
Okay.
Thank you, Katie. Thank you so much for coming to the show.
Thank you, too.
I'll see you in a bit. Bye. Hey there. Sorry to interrupt. What is your storytelling superpower that builds trust, authority, and attracts soulmate clients in your coaching business? Storytelling in your coaching business can boost your conversion rates. In fact, every story you tell can make marketing your business quick, easy, and actually kind of fun. This means that you can write, speak, create any messages that resonate with your soulmate client without sacrificing your uniqueness and feeling icky. The sheer magnetism of your story is what will ultimately hyper-attract your community of soulmate clients and followers. You really can get paid for who you are and not just what you do. Ready to find out your happy ending? Head over to quiz.braveyourbrand.com to find out what storytelling superpower you have in your coaching business. Hey, beautiful. Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed this podcast and found values from this episode, I would love for you to leave me a rating and review. Now, As a token of my appreciation, after you have left your review, I want you to take a screenshot of it and send it to me via email at michelle@elevatelifecoaching.org, and I will buy your next cup of coffee. I promise. One thing that I was struggling with in my early years of business was finding the right people to connect with. It feels like you are on this entrepreneur journey on your own. Sometimes we all just need friends who can share our dreams and goals and who can relate to us what we're going through as we grow our business together. If you are a woman coach who is ready to grow your coaching business and you're looking for strategies to get seen, get heard, and get hired, I want to invite you to come and find me in our community on Facebook at the Visibility Confidence Lounge. This is a community of heart-centered women coaches who are looking to grow their coaching business by creating engaging, authentic, visible content with storytelling for their business to get more leads and attract more clients. I will see you at my next tea party. Bye now.